From the Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium, it's the ICTN Game of the Week. Tonight, the DeSoto Eagles and the MacArthur Cardinals. Homecoming for the Cards here in 2017. Hi, everybody. Rob Willman with you. John Nelson will join here in just a few minutes. And to say that the Cardinals have their work cut out for them, oh, my goodness. They're playing the number 4 team in the state of Texas, a defending state champ in Class 6A, Division II. And they're going to have their hands full. Duncanville, DeSoto, perfect on the season. The Grand Prairie schools playing 500 ball overall. They both won their opening round, as we saw the Gophers win over Irving Nimitz last week on ICTN. Then you have Cedar Hill, Nimitz, MacArthur, and Irving. Don't count Cedar Hill out just yet. They had to play a tough game to open things up against DeSoto just last week. But these Cardinals, they're having trouble scoring. They're averaging about 10 points a ball game, but they're giving up about 3 times that amount. So, and they're playing a team that is deep in not only tradition but numbers, and they're going to have their hands full. They're going to have the ball, first of all, offensively, and that will be a key just to set the tone of this ball game. Love the Cardinals' new look. Kind of have a different look uniforms with the red trimmed in black, the black helmets. And they'll be going left to right. You saw what the temperature was here before kickoff. Not a lot of wind, so the breeze really not much. In fact, blowing about a mile per hour, gusting to about 5. It's clear outside, humidity not bad at 47%, 84 degrees. And feeling pretty good here on the floor of Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium here in Irving, Texas. Now, DeSoto, their only game that they were even really close in was the Jesuit game. They won 41-36. Jesuit 0-4, so take it for what you will on that. Then they went through Denton Guyer, Midland, and of course Cedar Hill. You see the score there. That one is always close when those two teams match up. It was 21-7 the final. DeSoto on top of that one. On the flip side, you've got the MacArthur Cardinals, who won their first game of the season right out of the chutes. They defeated the Garland Owls 14-3. Lost to Plano here at home 49-13, and you see kind of a pattern thereafter. Rockwall Heath at 41-14, and then lost to the Warriors, in which that game was like 7-0, 7-7 at one time at the half. It was very close. And then in the second half, the Warriors started to dominate and came out on top with a victory as they opened the district season. And you look there, the Cardinals have Cedar Hill right after DeSoto, so some tough games right out of the chutes for these Cardinals. The Cardinals will receive. They'll be going left to right. DeSoto will tee it up at their own 40, and with the call, Mr. Nelson.
All right, Rob, nice to be with you again. The DeSoto Eagles, there they are, the defending state champions in one of the Class 6A divisions. As we are set to go, Mac in return posture. The kickoff is a short, compressed directional kick, fielded at the 20. Running room 25. Breaks a tackle. That's number 4. That's the Josh Howell. Howell, the safety on defense sometimes, and a running back on offense, and Howell carries it out. And a nice start for the Cardinals.
Well, if it wasn't for Drake Dabbs just then on the special teams, he might have had some more room to run. You see the Cardinals up front: Smith, Garcia, Oliver, Clark, and Tate. And then Lopez is your quarterback, Lynch, Harden, Chairs, Nuama, and Feliciano, your receivers, in this one running back formation. And they have 4 guys, like a lot of people do in district play. And again, John, we talked about this last week, but more officials, 2 extra officials, they're everywhere.
I can't see any of them. There they are. First and 10, Cards at their own 33-yard line. The move man, number 81, Jose Feliciano, the sophomore. Draw play up the middle and not much, maybe a couple of yards. DeSoto giving up 17 points a game. Again, as Rob said, ranked number 4 in the state. That's number 42, Camarcus Walker, the junior. One of 24 for the Eagles.
Defensively, you have Robinson, Hunter, and Pippins, the 3, and then you have 4 linebackers: Jackson, Dawkins, Davis the 3rd, and Brooks. And then you have Brown, Hanspar Jr., Green, and Dabbs in the secondary.
Second down 8 at the 36. Peoples into the center of the line, tripped up after a short pickup of a couple of yards. Kenneth Peoples, a junior, running behind the offensive line, averages 243 pounds. Decent size this year for the Cards up front.
As was only the 6th carry of the year for Kenneth.
Trips to the near side on 3rd and 8. Brian Lopez with a completion rate of 50%, has a couple touchdowns rushing this year. 3rd and long, looking left, deep ball down the rail. It is caught and breaking away to the 25, 20, and ridden down at about the 11-yard line. That's Harden. Tyson Harden, his 8th catch of the year, has 1 touchdown reception this year, and a big play, Rob, on 3rd and long.
My, oh my, that was about a 55-yard toss, catch, and run by Harden, who got behind the cornerback. He got a lot of space, maybe on that little head fake there by Lopez, and man, he just dropped that one right in the breadbasket, broke a tackle, and went down the sideline.
Robert Oliver with a key block on the offensive line, squarely on the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal Cards. Mac averaging just 10 points a game. They were held to 7 in the loss last week to South Grand Prairie. Now Harden comes a little closer, and Jaquan Lewis, or Harden to the other side. So twin receivers and a movement from the gun. Lopez looking, will keep it and lose 3. Piled up at about the 13 or 14-yard line.
And it really wasn't like a slow developing play, John. It's just snap the ball, you count about 1,001, 1,002, and the Eagles are so fast they got to him just like that. He really didn't have much of a place anyway.
No, he didn't. Ashton Brooks, number 16, one of 45 seniors on his varsity lineup. 2nd and goal from the 14. Harden wide right with Feliciano.
Getting one-on-one coverage here on the bottom.
Lopez with a deep count, running play up the middle, and jackhammered back to the 12, just a couple of yards pickup. And that's it up the middle for Kenneth Peoples.
That hole closed about as fast as it opened. The guys up front did a good job initially, but DeSoto answered just as fast and closed up the hole. They're going to have to throw, I think, to try to get anything. And it's got to be quick ones, too, because they're so fast and quick on the D line.
You'd hate to waste that big pass play. 3rd and goal. Lopez and hold everything as he pulls out. Called a timeout.
They
did call a timeout. Their first of 3 here in the first half.
Well, Coach Mullins didn't like what he saw. Thought maybe he had a better play. Called timeout, and we'll see what happens after the timeout. I mean, it is 3rd and goal. It's a long 12 yards against this Eagle defense. So
DeSoto has won 20 in a row, 17 consecutive regular season games. Their last district loss came at Cedar Hill in 2015, a 26-2 loss to then the Joey McGuire Cedar Hill Longhorns. Carlos Lynn now the head coach at Cedar Hill now. Ronnie Mullins in year number 2.
And McGuire at Baylor coaching tight ends.
Right.
You know, the thing about DeSoto and, success breeds success. I look over on the sideline. I said, good grief, how many players do they have? Well, they have just about 3 players shy of 100. 97 on the roster, whereas MacArthur has 43.
Tyson Harden, wide left, one-on-one coverage, 3 receivers to the near side. On 3rd and goal, looking towards Harden, deep ball, and there's no way that he can catch up to it. It was just thrown a little bit too hard, but Lopez under duress, and it'll be 4th down.
Dabbs again on the defensive side of that, number 17. Didn't go for the head fake, and now they're going to hopefully get a 3-pointer out of this.
Field goal attempt as they get the right personnel. It'll be a 29-yard field goal attempt, angled to the right from 29 yards out. Feliciano has it down. It is up. This one's sailing right inside the right uprights as the Cards strike first on a 29-yard field goal. Their drive started at their own 33. The deep pass play to Harden set it up, and Sambando boots it through.
Used about 2.5 minutes overall. 7 plays, but of course you alluded to that big 55-yard toss to Harden. Good thing is MacArthur gets on the board. Now we'll see how they respond defensively against a DeSoto team that's just loaded with talent.
Well, last year, the game that really propelled DeSoto towards that state championship run was the 49-45 win over Abilene in the regional semifinals. That's what did it. Then they went on to beat Cibolo Steel in the state championship game 38-29 at AT&T Stadium.
You know, the thing about Abilene, it's, I call it the old guard. The schools back in our day would be Arlington, Wichita Falls, Abilene. It's good to see them kind of rejuvenate and play well again. You just don't see that anymore in big city schools. Of course, Abilene's not that a big metropolitan where they chop up, the city and divide things up. But it is kind of nice to see the old guard, if you will.
You're saying a resurgence of the Little Southwest Conference?
Yeah, I don't know.
3-0, Mac on top. They lead this all-time series, by the way, 2-1. So the fourth meeting all-time as San Bando has it teed up. It's a squib kick, fielded on the low hop, juggled and scooped up by number 3, Byron Hanspard. Hanspard to the outside and gains yardage close to the 40-yard line. There's a Byron Hanspard Jr. and a Brian Hanspard. So a couple of Hanspards, the brothers.
If you just say Hanspard, you got it covered. You're going to get one of them.
First and 10, DeSoto averaging 36 points a game. The Cards giving up 33. And number 12, Shondarian Ward is the quarterback. Ward is a junior and running room that closes quickly at the 40-yard line. That's Keelan Walker. Walker, a University of Houston commit, gain of a yard.
Here's the starting lineups for the Eagles. Up front, Ford, Brown, Jenkins, Gines, and Reyes. And then you got Douglas, Walker, Hanspard, Brown, Chenault, and company.
Swing pass a little bit too tall out in the right flat, intended for Keelan Walker. So Courtney Douglas not in there as the first team unit for DeSoto. It'll be 3rd and 9. Number 12 is the man under, Shondarian Ward.
Showing those guys up front, the right side, 300 pounds, the left side, 275 and 290. The lighter ones.
The lighter ones on the run and intended down the left side for number 3, Brian Hanspard. It'll be 4th down. Yeah, the Eagles' offensive line, Rob, they averaged 287.
A little pressure from the weak side. Really didn't plant his foot too well on that toss and wasn't even close.
So DeSoto forced to punt on their first offensive series. Cards dropping back, Joseph Nwama and Charles Sherman. There's Sherman at the top of the screen. Nwama up with a fair catch signal and gathers it in at the 21-yard line. So the second series offensively for the Cards. Number 10, Joseph Nwama. Mac this year with 19 seniors, 27 juniors, and 6 sophomores.
DeSoto only had the football for about 39 seconds. That last possession.
Not even a minute deep.
You throw a couple of times and come up empty, that's what happens.
The Eagles beat the Cards last year 48-7. As Lopez looks over to the bench. Play clock down to 10. They have time. From the 21. Lopez swings it out in the left flat. It is caught to the 23, and a tough couple of yards for Jose Feliciano.
Play.
First flag.
Lopez pass is complete to number 81, Jose Feliciano.
Push or block against MacArthur. Hold.
Referee is Terry Mayfield. And as Rob said, his crew of what, 7 more this year?
Yeah, 6 more, 7 in all.
37. In with the play call.
Holding on the offense, number 9. 10 yards from the previous spot.
Holding that time
Still
against
first
number
down.
9, Demetrius Chairs, the junior, wide out. Trying to put a block and trying to free his teammate on the corner. You know, it's going to be so important for these Cardinals to keep the football as long as they can offensively.
So they scrimmage from the 11 on 1st and 20.
Got movement everywhere.
2 flags. And a 3rd one dropped on the far side.
And you know the question, pulled off
Or
jumped
drawn.
off?
Ball, false start on the offense. 5 yards, still first
Another
down.
procedure call on MacArthur. That scoots him back to the 6-yard line. So it's now 1st and 25. They need to get to the 32-yard line for the 1st down.
And not only do they have a long way to go to get the first, but they're buried deep in their own end of the field, and they got to keep the turnover away.
Peoples to the left of Lopez. This is Peoples. And Peoples stacked up at about the 7-yard line. They don't give up much. DeSoto, their defense is as good as their offense, giving up 17 a game. But you got to look at some of the opposition that they have played. It's marked at the 7. So that's a gain of a yard. It'll be 2nd and 24. Joseph Nwama, the 2 receivers wide left, and Chairs is the other man. He's to the outside.
Watch the backer on the far side of your screen.
2nd and long. And twisted down at the 15-yard line. Did not want to come down. May have lost the football. Peoples. DeSoto has it. And the Eagles have recovered. No call to change it as of yet. DeSoto just stripped loose of the football, and the Eagles have it. It's 1st and goal.
Have you seen the... Okay, they finally pointed it over. Let's look at the replay. Let's see if he was stripped. Was he down? Was he down? And the ball comes out.
Jamon Green tried to rip it out. Also in their number 30, Dree Dawkins. So it's 1st and goal at the 8.
Apparently he did. Giving the Eagles a short field.
Just on the way, 6:43 to go here in the opening stanza at Joy and Ralph Allen Stadium. Ward now will send 2 receivers to the near side. And Ward able to get the handoff to the 5, to the 3, to the 2, and to the end zone. Keelan Walker, and this may come back. Kind of a shaky handoff. Walker eventually got to it, but Eagles may have held. That'd be a break for the Cards, having just fumbled it away.
Holding on the offense, number 1. 10 yards.
And it is a hold
spot
that
the foul.
negates
Repeat first down.
the touchdown run by Walker.
Yeah, it looked like a busted play. This Walker ran into the back of his quarterback, Ward, and still found some running room, and now we know why, the holding call.
1st and goal from the 12. Walker up the middle, sheds a couple of tackles and dives to the 5. Has 2 rushing touchdowns this year. Again, a University of Houston commit. Keelan Walker. Second and goal. They scrimmage from the Cardinal 6-yard line. From the gun, Ward. Strong side right, fumbles the snap, picks it up, in trouble, and is leveled at the 11-yard line.
Boy, what a nice play by Josh Howell, the junior. Came crashing in on the corner. And DeSoto, you know, I'm not going to say jittery, but just not concentrating tonight. And boy, they did a good job of the sandwich. Also Kelly Araki. Try to get that right. Number 1 also came in off the edge.
Kenneth Singleton also in the mix. 3rd and goal from the 11. Ward looking end zone and a little bit too tall, intended for Chenault. Nice defensive coverage. Number 18, Sanders. Marcus Sanders on the fade pattern to the far side.
Oh, Ward got hit pretty good too, and he let that one go. Somebody came right up the middle untouched for MacArthur to put the pressure on Ward.
Number 87 out with a T. That's Bodgett, Jarrett Bodgett, a sophomore. And the field goal attempt is good from 27 yards out. And we start over at 3 as DeSoto matches the Cardinal field. The 1st and goal, Rob, that started from the 8, a penalty and a bobbled snap. And the Eagles have to settle for 3.
Ward talking to one of his offensive linemen, Donovan Ford. Ford, just a sophomore. Might have messed up on an assignment. Because on one of those plays is that fade route. On that 3rd down, Ward did not have a lot of time to throw. Somebody came right up the middle to apply the pressure. Might have been Ford's man, and Ward was just reminding him to pick him up next time.
Homecoming tonight for MacArthur. Week 5 of the 2017 season. Josh Howell is the middleman, number 4. Whether he sees that deep kickoff is out. Bodgett is set. Another directional kickoff. And a stoppage of play. And here's a flag drop procedure on DeSoto. Looked like the left side.
Kick the ball before it's ready for play.
Antsy and got a head start. They did. It'll cost them 5.
Yeah, he kicked it before the referee said you could. That's why the flag came from Terry Mayfield back in the end zone underneath the crossbar. It's like, wait a minute, I didn't tell you to kick it.
Demetrius Chairs now middle deep. Bodgett set. Same kind of kickoff, fielded over the shoulder at the 34-yard line by Hart. That's where the Cards start on their 3rd offensive series. As Rob said, Mac opened the year right here defeating Garland 14-3. Losses to Plano, Rockwell Heath, and South Grand Prairie to open up district play. 3rd possession. Cardinals start from their own 34. We're tied at 3. 5:27 to go here in the 1st quarter. Lopez, who has thrown for over 300 yards, and the 2nd timeout taken by the Cards. Apparently did not have the right personnel.
And this time it wasn't Mullins calling the timeout, it was Lopez that turned around. I did not see the play clock. I didn't know, maybe it was winding down and he didn't want the delay, and that's smart. I mean, you cannot be in a situation of 1st and 15, 2nd and long, 3rd and long against someone like DeSoto. But the more big plays that MacArthur can make, big stands defensively,
and just hold them at bay.
Yeah, and, you know, they're going to get their confidence up a little bit.
Head coach Todd Peterman. A interesting January and February between the DeSoto School Board and Mr. Peterman. He's back. 25-6 in year number 3 and counting. So we'll try it again. 1st and 10. Lopez, handoff, coming left, and made maybe a couple of yards. Not more than 2 or 3 trying to squeeze through. That is Corinne Lynch. Lynch now the running back for 26. Lynch is the sophomore.
Glad you got good eyes, John.
Well, people started that 5 almost looked like another 5, but it is a 6.
Slow developing play.
2nd and 9, just across the 35-yard line. Lynch now to the left of Lopez. Twin receivers right side. And look at this, 2, now 3 as they bookend Lynch. Closing in fast, who led the charge, number 7, Dante Mosley. And then had help from number 42, Walker, Camarcus Walker.
Just a read option. Handed it off and
lost his footing.
Yeah.
And a DeSoto player shaken up away from the ball. That's one of the leading tacklers, Jermon Green. Green, a Michigan commit, is being helped to the sidelines.
I don't think he was part of that play. I did notice after the play he just kind of came up a little gimpy, covering one of the wide receivers. He jogs back over. Maybe he just got a cramp, who knows. But, you know, the Eagles had 26 players sign a national letter of intent in February. And they have over 400 players in the football program. They're everywhere.
3rd and 9. Caught, slant pattern, caught to midfield. Number 9, Demetrius Chairs from the left side on the quick slants. And a 1st and 10 for the Cards at midfield.
Well done. Nice play by Lopez to hit Chairs, a quick hitter. That's what you've got to do. 2 steps, drop, throw, bam. Don't give DeSoto enough time to react, and they're working on that far side corner. Well done.
Drake Dabbs on the tackle, number 17. And a fresh set of downs for the Cards. We're tied at 3. Under 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. Lopez, and well, that center line closes quick, Rob. There's nothing up the middle.
No.
Running behind Spencer Smith, number 77. No gain, it'll be 2nd and 10. Corinne Lynch. Line up to the left of Lopez.
Oh, you're right, that 6 looks like a 5 sometimes.
Yeah, it does. It's a broken number.
Can't we just have like white jerseys with black big block numbers?
That'll be in a couple of weeks, or maybe tomorrow night. Draw play, and Lynch hit hard and rocked to the turf at midfield. Virtually nothing at all. Gets up a little slow, took a hard hit from the left side.
That was his 4th carry. He has about 5 yards in all. He saw some daylight there, and you can see him kind of slap the ball a little bit, thinking, boy, I had some room to run, but got corralled around the ankles.
Xavier Levelston, number 56, underneath for DeSoto. It'll be 3rd and a dime from midfield. Twin receivers cut on either side for Lopez. Play clock down to 2. 1, and they just get it off.
Nope.
No, they didn't. It'll cost them 5. And 0 came up quick. It'll be 3rd and 15.
You know, you see in the NFL, there's like a nanosecond between when it turns, the clock goes to 0, and then they say, you waited too long, and they throw the flag. Here, pretty much as soon as it went 0, they blew the whistle flag.
No extra time at all. Number 9, Chairs, wide to the right. He's one-on-one with Jamon Green, number 9, the safety. 3rd and 15 from the 45. Lopez throws on the run towards the middle and just out of the reach at the 10-yard line of Harden.
Oh, man, he had about 2 steps on the defender. Second time
pattern
tonight, yeah, Harden been able to get behind the defender. And watch again. They only rushed 3, so that gave him some extra time. Little post pattern there, but just led him too much.
Harden will stay in and punt. Number 2 back deep, that's Jamal Brown. Brown scoops it up at the 23. A jump cut to the 29 and an extra yard to the 30. 7-yard return as the Eagles set up shop at their own 30-yard line with 1:44 left here in the opening quarter.
They've had the ball twice already. First time the Eagles 3 and out. Second time they had the ball short field, had it for 4 downs, got the field goal. So they really haven't had the ball a lot offensively here in the first quarter, which is good for Mac.
Again, no Courtney Douglas, number 8 at Shondarian Ward running the show. Dylan Lawrence running back to the right, number 25. The fake to Lawrence, and Ward breaks a tackle at the 33 and is double teamed at the 35. 5-yard pickup. Jarrell Fly, the sophomore, one of the 2 Cardinals on the tackle and quickly up to the ball, the Eagle offense.
Changing tempo.
2nd and 5. Sideline right, open field left for Ward. Handoff, first down, 45. Crossing midfield, still on his feet, 45-40. Inside the hash marks, inside the 30-yard line. Nice pickup by Lawrence. He started right, cut it back towards the middle, and a huge pickup.
Man, does he have speed. When he broke through the line, he was in the secondary in a New York minute. Look at him go.
Changing directions, and Lawrence shoved forward an extra 5 yards. From the Cardinal 25, Ward breaks a tackle 20. 15-10, and Ward trying to get to the pylon, goes out of bounds at the 2. Eagles in position now to take the lead. It's 1st and goal at the 2.
See, now this is the Eagle offense we expected early on. It's just like all of a sudden they decided to wake up, and maybe it's the tempo.
Lawrence comes out, and Keelan Walker, number 6, the running back. And this is Walker, and this is 6. Carried into the end zone by Noah Gibson, number 15. And the Eagles have scored their first touchdown tonight. A short 2-yard run by number 6, Keelan Walker.
Took all of about a minute and a second to score.
Huge run. And the Eagle touchdown. There's a nice shot from the end zone camera on the south, about 100 yards away. Extra point is perfect, and DeSoto leading 10-3.
Just off the left side, there's not much MacArthur could do. Holding on for life with Noah Gibson, the defensive end. But Walker just drags him into the end zone.
A 70-yard drive, much of that on the legs of Dylan Lawrence, number 25. As you see the DeSoto Eagle Band in full force across the way. Yeah, you're right, Rob. That's the DeSoto team that you're accustomed to seeing. A minimal amounts of huddle time, and they know the plays. Nothing they haven't seen defensively. A 70-yard drive, and our first touchdown of the night.
3rd touchdown of the year for Walker. Came in with almost 130 yards overall, played in just 2 games so far.
Jarrett Blodgett has it teed up. He'll take a 4-step approach, assuming he doesn't do that before the whistle. There it is. It's a very high short kick caught at the 40-yard line. Not wanting the Cardinals to do anything once they feel the kickoff. Number 25, Kenneth Peoples. Right there for the Cards. There's the touchdown man from 2 yards out. Keelan Walker, a University of Houston commit. from the 40-yard line. Best starting point in the first quarter for the Cardinals, their fourth possession.
Well, Walker gets the touchdown, but Lawrence had that long run. Really opened things up.
We'll see if Rob could try to spring Karen Lynch a time or two. They've got a couple of receivers wide right. Lopez from the gun, feels the high snap, pulls it down, in trouble, and is bombed at the 37. Right over the top, number 55, Viramontes Pippin.
Pippin's the junior. 7th on the team in tackles. Had 9 solos coming in to tonight's ball game. 3 tackles for losses. You know, you look at stats. Most high schools, they got maybe a couple of kids that have tackles for losses, and you look at this DeSoto team, and they got like 11 players that have had tackles for losses.
That'll be the last play of the opening quarter as the two teams change sides. That's the end of the first quarter here on our ICTN Game of the Week. Our score, DeSoto 10, MacArthur 3. First play of the second quarter, the Cardinals face a 2nd and 12 from their own 38-yard line. Lopez, a quick out over the shoulder of Harden on the near side. It'll be.
You know, even though he missed his mark on that play, John, I still like the play call. Hope they go back to it. I mean, Harden has done a really good job of spacing himself between him and the defender, making a lot of room. I think they could go back to that a couple of plays down the road.
Brother of former Cardinal quarterback Kane Harden.
Was he number 8 too?
Now at Texas Wesleyan. I think they have the same number. 3rd and a dozen from the 38. Lopez sprints out, throws on the run, has a receiver at the 40, jukes the defender, and has a couple of more yards out to the 42-yard line. That's Feliciano, but not near enough as it sets up 4th down.
Let's see if he stepped out of bounds after he caught it. Yeah, right there.
Gave him the 41. And it's punt time for the Cards. Jamal Brown back deep for DeSoto. Tyson Harden, a knuckler, caught by Brown, and here come a whole quartet of red jerseys. Snowed under inside the 25.
Well, he was trying to dance his way up from outside the crowd, but the crowd just got bigger, surrounded him. Well done special team-wise from MacArthur, containing, because that's what you have to do against the speedsters from DeSoto.
Jacob Reyes, number 12, one of the speedy men downfield for the Cards. You know, you look at the helmets this year, Rob, the black helmets. There is a cardinal, there is a bird on the side of the helmet, but you can just barely see the red feathers on that dark helmet.
It's like those unmarked police cars.
But there is a card on the side of the helmet.
Yeah, there is a decal on the police car, but not until you're right up on it.
Ward going to empty the backfield. Quick swing pass out on the left at 25-40. One man to beat and shoved out of bounds at the 40-yard line. That is Brown. Jamal Brown, the senior. He has 5 touchdown catches this year. And they're coming back. A hold on the quick pass out on the left flat. That came quick.
Well, that's a 40-yard mistake, and it turns into a 50-yard mistake if you count the holding penalty to bring it back. That was going to be their first completion.
Holding on the offense, number 1.
Of the ball
10
game,
yards
John.
from the spot of the foul. Still
that's
first
all
down.
you have to do is give these guys some room to run, and gosh, they're like the fastest guys we've seen in 2 or 3 years on this field, isn't it?
Track speed here in football season. Dylan Lawrence is the running back. And the quarterback remains Shondarian Ward, number 12. Line of scrimmage at the 23. And Lawrence gobbled up behind the line, number 33, Singleton. And another player underneath, number 32, Blake Burris, the sophomore.
Well, Blake did a fine job of submarining. Watch first the middle of your screen. They kind of tag team there. And the defensive line did just an outstanding job.
Loss of a couple of yards from the 21. Ward, a ball caught out on the flat by Chenault. Chenault breaks the tackle 30, 35, and tripped up at the 37-yard line. Brown on the reception and the first down.
John, you can't miss tackles. They had him at the line of scrimmage.
Grabbing thin air. Ward on the run. A sprint pass caught. Breaking a tackle 40. This has become a habit now down the far sideline. This may be a touchdown, and tiptoeing into the end zone is Levante Chenault.
63 yards in all.
Chenault, the second DeSoto Eagle to score. It is 16-3.
Well, one missed tackle. And the next thing you know, Douglas has a touchdown connection, and Chenault just turned on the afterburners down the far sideline from us.
Levante Chenault's fourth touchdown catch of the year. The extra point attempt is up. It is perfect. It is 17-3 DeSoto. Number one, Levante Chenault.
Just going left. Missed tackle there about the midfield, and then he just kind of does a little juke step. A half-hearted stiff arm. He goes down the sideline with an escort. You look at it from the end zone. The quarterback Ward just goes to his left. Finds Chenault with some space, and once he has some space, that gives him the opportunity to turn on the speed. And he chastise teams that seem like they can turn it on and off with the flip of the switch. But what we've noticed in the first half, Mr. Nelson, is it seems like maybe they have. They might have come out just a little lethargic, maybe like, we're going to take care of business tonight. And they didn't, but then next thing you know, I think maybe is this the tempo change. As soon as they went to a no huddle and just didn't give MacArthur time to react, it just seemed to change the whole complexity of the ball.
Burris tried to get him up high. He was the last line of defense for the Cards and got away from Burris. Yeah, they were running on that low octane. Now it's diesel.
Turbo. They've added a turbo to the engine.
17-3. That touchdown came about 3 minutes from the previous score. And a 14-point cushion.
80-yard drive in 3 plays.
Not bad. Back-to-back possessions and touchdowns off of those possessions. Blodgett and another directional kick. Harden has it at the 30-yard line. Nobody wants to kick deep anymore, Rob.
No.
We've had a squib kick. We've had one of those low bouncers, but no deep kickoffs.
We saw it once last week in the Gopher game. And the thing is the kicker for Nimitz has such a strong leg. He can kick it to the end zone.
Yeah, he can get it for reason. From the 30-yard line, trailing 17-3. Brian Lopez has thrown one touchdown and has been picked off twice this year. Running play and stacked up behind the line of scrimmage. 3 and 4. Eagles right there among them. Call his number many times tonight. Pippin's number 55.
Yep, the junior does a good job of just plugging up the inside.
Jalen Hall, new running back, junior, 5'9", 170. That's Hall to the right of Lopez. We'll say no gain. 2nd and 10 from the 30. Lopez behind the block from Hall, throws and overshoots the receiver at the 45-yard line, trying to get it in the direction of Nuwama, number 10.
So you have have Hall 23, Peoples 25, Lynch 26.
Are we done yet? 9:45 left on this homecoming night. October 5th for Irving MacArthur. Ryan Lopez facing a 3rd and 10. And look at this, DeSoto as if they know the play's coming that way, and a loss of 3.
Brian Robinson, number 53, one of the big uns up front. You know what's so good about them, or what they can do? They can just rush 3 guys. They had 3 guys on the line of scrimmage.
They sidestep the guard in the center, and then the other side closes.
And then you have the linebackers. You have 4 backers that just kind of sit back, waiting for someone to break that first line of defense, and they don't.
DeVary Levelson also there. It's a loss of 3, 4th and 13. As Harden gets it away, it's a floater caught by Jamal Brown in retreat mode at the 35, all the way back to the 30, and is tackled at about the 28. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide.
Well, I got to hand it to MacArthur's special teams so far, John. They've done a good job of containing DeSoto's guys back in the punt formation. They made their only chance at a 3-pointer. I think special team-wise, they've done well, but man, offensively, you know, they just can't get on track. They need a couple of playmakers, something to happen to open things up a little bit.
They're going to mark it at the 27. Dylan Lawrence in the backfield with Sean Darian Ward. 1st and 10 DeSoto. Here's Ward on the play action fake, and a penalty flag dropped back near the line of scrimmage. Ward to the 44, but this one coming back.
Yeah, that, you know, you tell an offensive lineman if you're going to hold, do it in a pile. But, I mean, that was right in front of referee Terry Mayfield.
That was a clean and jerk.
Yeah. I mean, if I could see it in these old eyes.
Holding on the offense, number 74. 10 yards from the previous spot, or spot of the foul.
Watch the bottom part of your screen, maybe the right tackle. Watch the right tackle, number 74, just get his arms around the defensive end, and then he lets go, but hey, it was too late because the running back was already past him. But
Evan Henry for DeSoto.
oh, the coaches are going to remind him about that on tape day.
New line of scrimmage is the 17. 1st and 20. Ward throws a low ball and caught at the 32-yard line. Getting down low was Lawrence Arnold. Arnold, a sophomore. That's a pickup of about 16 yards.
It's nothing fancy, a roll out, down and out, went low to grab it.
This is what Sean Robinson did for 3 years at DeSoto. Ward trying to find some running room. Nothing on that far side, and Ward runs out of bounds at the 40. That is a first down. Runs for about 8 and collects another DeSoto first down. Stops the clock with 8:26 to go in the first half. Later in the week, we'll bring you the Nimitz-Irving Tiger contest. Week 5. Overall, 2nd week of district play. From the 40, Ward caught, 45, crossing midfield, and a gain of 12. 12 quick yards and another catch for Lawrence Arnold.
Nothing fancy, just like a receiver screen. You see a lot of teams with the spread offense that'll run it. One receiver blocks, the other catches and picks up what they can.
Sean Darian Ward, handoff up the middle, breaking a tackle at the 40, spinning out of running room, 35-20, 25-20, 15-10, and that we call Lawrence 4 times, and the 4 times we have called him, he has run for at least 20 yards. Lawrence ahead him.
That looked like about another, like another 40-yard run. Look at him just stop and spin and
had him dead to rights, and then he breaks to the outside.
that's when it's tough to get him.
First and goal from the 7.
He has like 80 yards on 2 carries. It's crazy.
Brian Hanspart is a running back. This is Hanspart, and Hanspart trying to get to the double stripe, reaches across, and about a foot short. It'll be second and goal, number 3. Brian Hanspart, the junior.
Came in with 90 yards overall.
Changing receivers. Hanspart now to the outside. Ward handed off and leveled at the 2-yard line. That's Singleton. Singleton all over Lawrence. Nobody picked up Kenneth Singleton.
You know, we haven't called him out a lot tonight, and last year we called him out a lot. He was all over the place as a linebacker. Look at that. That's how you do it. Wrap it up and send him down.
One of the leading tackles last year for the Cards. It'll be third and goal from the 2. Ward, he'll keep it and have 6. Untouched from 2 yards out. And the third DeSoto touchdown. It comes with 6:40 left here in the first half.
You know, you just have to be consistent. Tough to do against a team that's number 4 in the state of Texas. They're number 4 for a reason. Depth, quick speed, a lot of D1 players.
23-3, extra point attempt is perfect like the previous 2. And with 6:40 to go in the first half, it is now 24-3.
Ward with the read option. And once the outside linebacker slid down a little bit, it was a no-brainer for Ward just to cut it up in and get the 2-yard touchdown run.
It's been a steady diet of Lawrence to the left, Lawrence to the right. Big running plays. And the short first and goal situations the last 2 times for this Eagle offense. That drive is close to 80 yards. 73, 74.
Yeah, started at their own 27. So, yeah, 73 yards.
A lot of money right there.
Whoa! They're getting bigger, better, brighter.
Heavier.
Every year. Look, they have to have a clothes hanger. You don't even wear them anymore. You just like hang them over your shoulder with the clothes hanger and then drape them over the railing.
I saw a story the other night. One high school senior down at Katy had a $600 mom. I mean, it was like a dress.
Can you put a price on your mother? Oh, Mom. Oh.
Mom. 3-digit mom.
Ah. Mum's the word.
Here's a deep one. And gathered in at the 6-yard line. Up and shaken down hard. Number 14 downfield. That's Jalen Hunter. Hunter downfield for the Eagles as he got nothing but shoulder pad and helmet. What an earth-shattering tackle right here. Ow. Man, he just rocked him back. That was Sherman who took the brunt of that hit. First and 10, Irving, MacArthur from their own 18. They have punted their last 3 possessions, trailing 24-3.
What do you do, Coach?
Well, you get it off as quickly as possible and try to get them flat-footed, but that's a tall task against this team that looks every bit as good as last year. From the 18, handoff, and the pile moves the other way. No forward progress at all.
Again, our guy Pippins making most of the damage right up the middle.
Jalen Hall, the running back.
So Levelston there as well. Noticing that last at least formation, they brought a couple of linebackers up to make it a 5-man front. Now looky there, they're back to a 3.
Loss of a yard. Second and 11. That one tipped at the line of scrimmage. Intended for Feliciano, number 81. It'll be third down.
Well, except for the tip. I mean, he had time to throw. Wasn't a lot of pressure.
They've gone deep. They've gone crossing.
So you watch the left defensive end. Yep, got a Paul in. It was Levinston again, or Levelston. Talked about him the play before, so back-to-back good plays.
Now they're back to a 3-4 on 3rd and 11. Lopez.
Turning 4.
Quick feet and twisted down back at the line of scrimmage. He turns, nobody open, and ridden down hard. It'll be 4th down. 4th consecutive punt upcoming for the Cards with 5:40 to go in the first half.
You know, when they rush 3 and it's a quick hitter, Mac has a chance to make something offensively. That time, though, they brought one of the linebackers up the middle. Lopez really didn't have anything to do.
Tyson Harden in punt formation. Jamal Brown back deep, standing near midfield for DeSoto. And this is a penalty-ridden attempt as Terry Mayfield will call.
Ball start on the offense, number 3. 5 yards, still 4th down.
Forced penalty against MacArthur.
Ball start. They'll scoot him back. And Jamal Brown will come upfield another 5 yards. There's Brown standing at the Cardinal 45. So from the goal line, Tyson Harden, a skyscraper. Brown at midfield looking for some blocking, and Brown, as the pursuit catches up at the 41-yard line. A 9-yard return for Jamal Brown. Adrian Steptoe downfield for the Cards.
Well, not what you want to see from MacArthur, and that is good field position for DeSoto at the 42-yard line of Mac.
Look at this, Rob, a full moon here in early October.
I noticed that. It was hiding behind some clouds back in the first quarter, but now the clouds have disappeared and a beautiful full moon over the visitors' stands there to the east.
Sprint draw, 35-30, 25, and another big running play inside the 15. And the pursuit catches up inside the 10. Guess who again?
Let's see. I'm going to guess Lawrence. And hey, they held him to 5 under his previous other 2s of 40s. He had 2 40s and a stiff arm. And this is about a 35-yarder or so.
First and goal from the MacArthur 6-yard line. Number 25, Dylan Lawrence. Ward will fake to Lawrence, and Ward, trying to get to the edge, is yanked down at the 9. Pull down.
Well done by number 27, Figueroa, the junior, 5'9", 170. Held his ground. Watch here. Wrapped him up, held on to the leg, and put his man to the ground. Well done. We had a penalty flag as well.
Chop block. Here's a call.
Personal foul, chop block on the offense, number 72. 15 yards, still 1st down.
Chop block on the offensive line. Looks like
Donovan Ford.
guilty party number 72, the sophomore. So it's first and goal, the new line of scrimmage, the 21.
Rough night for Donovan. Recall he had that holding penalty in the last series.
Hanspard and Brown, 2 receivers to the left side. Here's a handoff to Lawrence. Lawrence, and from the backside, 4-yard pickup, and an injured Cardinal getting up slowly.
Singleton on the tackle.
Steptoe getting up slowly. Kenneth Singleton. Gain of 3 yards. Second and goal from the 19 with 4 minutes to play here in the half. Ward looking end zone. Caught at the 3 near the pylon to the 1. Hanspard. 17 yards on that pass and run. Brian Hanspard, number 3.
Watch me just like plucks it out of the sky. Close to a touchdown.
Crash down at the 1. 3rd and goal. Ward. And well diagnosed by a trio of Cardinals. Number 11, they're all fly. 1 and 3. Figueroa, number 27.
Shades of what they did the last time they got this close, where Ward just kept it. MacArthur sniffed it out, and everybody just piled on.
And a timeout call. With 3:50 to go here in the first half. They want to bring on the field goal team as if these 3 points would make that much of a difference.
Well, the officials were doing a lot of talking after the play. And let's see if it's a clock issue or not, but
Ronnie Mullins in discussion with referee Terry Mayfield. See if they're going to bring on Blodgett and attempt his field goal. Yeah, he's coming on.
let's see what he says. Okay, so DeSoto calls time. The tee may come off. You're right.
Blodgett has picked it up, the rest of the officiating crew tonight.
Reed is your umpire. Williams, the head linesman. Stefan, Johnson, Gaines, Adrian, and of course our good friend Wally Banks, the clock operator.
Down to our left, as you see our press box location on the far side. Line of scrimmage is the 2.5-yard line. It's 4th and goal. And the onus on the Cardinal defense here to rise up and see what they can do against this high-octane offense tonight, led by Shondarian Ward, the junior, number 12. Courtney Douglas had come into tonight with a completion rate of 61%, but Rod, the way that Ward throws on the run, it's as if he's from the pocket. I mean, he throws as well on the run as he does when he drops back. He lose nothing at all, well, a little bit maybe, but a lot of
doesn't
teams
play
would
like a
to
second teamer, does he?
Yeah, a lot of teams would like to have a number 12. 4th and goal. So they bypass his field goal attempt. 2 tight ends on the offensive line and a stoppage of play. And the Cardinals have taken their 3rd and final timeout. Well, they saw that big tight end alignment on the offensive line, and something amiss as the Cardinals will adjust here on this timeout.
Half the coaches were jumping up and down before the play. Like you said, apparently they saw something. You were counting some of the assistant coaches over for DeSoto. They have like enough assistants to field a football team as well, plus some.
18 plus about 8 more. And the Redbird down by 21. Classic look as the Cardinal defense. See what changes they make here if they just line up and put about 9 in the box. 4th and goal from the 2.5, leading 24-3. DeSoto came in averaging 36 a game, averaging, you talk about balance, Rob, 209 yards of rushing a game, 201 yards up top.
Pretty close to 50-50. I don't know, I might have Singleton 33 to shadow Ward, the quarterback. Singleton, one of the better tacklers on this Mac defensive unit. 4th
and goal. Lawrence to the left of Ward. They're throwing for the deep corner and out of reach of Chenault. They tried to go to the deep pylon, so the Cardinals have held, and some celebration holding DeSoto to 0 on that drive that started from their own 42.
Why not? They did well. Good coverage, too. Tried to hit Chenault. Covered extremely well that time.
It was.
And hats off to DeMarcus Sanders, the cornerback. He's 5'9", 165, played big, played tall, and That pass had to be perfect.
So the Cards have held. They take over at their own 2-yard line, trailing 24-3. Trying to get out of the shadows of their own end zone. Kenneth Peoples back in at a running back. And Lopez lost the handle. He slips and falls in a safety. It just squirted loose. And 2 points for the Eagles. It is now 26-3, and the Cards have to give up the football. Well, that's a tough break, having held DeSoto, and they have jammed a thumb.
Watch the ball, like he goes back to throw, and it just, like you said, slips out of his hand. He does a smart thing. He just falls on it, and Levelston falls on him. So DeSoto is going to make out on this one. I mean, they end up losing a point in the whole thing. From they get 2 instead of 3, but they get the football back. There's still, 3.5 minutes left to go before the half, so they could score 2 more times before it's said and done.
A turnover, and it cost the Cardinals a couple of points.
It's been pretty much, as we talked about, just a wrecking crew offensively for the Eagles in Lawrence. He's had 4 carries, 40, 40, 35, and 4. And the only other one's the quarterback, Ward. He has 34, right around 34 yards and about 6 carries. So you're kicking so far back, John. You're at your own 20. Do you still directional kick it here?
I don't give them any short field at all, but it's as if they flip the field with that safety, and now they got to hope for some kind of a kickoff.
Do you still pooch it?
No.
Even at your own 20?
I kick it deep. I don't want to give them 1st and 10 at the 40. Well, it's a pop fly and fielded at the 46. That's number 10 going far side. 35 and stacked up at the 34. Jamon Green, but again, Rob, it's 1st and 10 inside your own 40-yard line. On the short kickoff, and it doesn't get any easier next week for the Cards. They have to play Cedar Hill at Longhorn Stadium. Down 26-3, and it's 1st and 10 DeSoto at the Cardinal 34. The 2 rule of thumbs on that kickoff. I mean, you try to hammer it deep and at least give them half a field, but now you've given them 2/3. At the MAC 34. Running back is Keelan Walker. Walker back in alongside Shondarian Ward.
Yeah, they took too much time.
Play clock was down to 1, and it'll cost them 5. By the way, if we haven't mentioned it, congratulations to ICTN. Back in September, the NATOA Programming Awards were held in Seattle, and ICTN took 1st in Game of the Week. Not 2nd, not runner-up, but 1st in Game of the Week. So congrats to our ICTN crew. 1st and 15, Ward flush from the pocket, flag down, sprints to the outside and overthrows the receiver at the 25.
Got to be another holding call. This time it was Donovan Ford again. I think it was 72.
That's a 3rd time that Ford has been involved.
Let's hear if Mayfield backs me up. See if he says the number.
Holding on the offense, number 72. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat, 1st down.
Yep, 72.
3rd time.
Okay, in Ford's defense, he's just a sophomore. So there you go. I'm taking up for him once. Youngster mistake. You watch 2 years, he'll be a beast.
Yeah, you're probably right. From midfield, Ward, crossing pattern, caught by Chenault in traffic. Chenault breaks to the outside, inside the 30. Chenault inside the 25, and ridden down at the 20. Close to 30 yards on that pass and run, and another first down. Levante Chenault came in with 16 catches for over 200 yards.
You know what DeSoto does so well, John, is that it seems like they're in a crowd, and the next moment they're not.
From the 20, this is Brown. Penalty flag drop. Brown jukes a defender and is high-load inside the 15. But the flag dropped as soon as Brown tried to find some extra yardage.
Could be against DeSoto. Remember, every time you have those split screens, this time it's a interference call.
Okay, right near the 15-yard line. It'll cost the Eagles yardage with under 3 minutes to play here in the half.
Pass
Got him for
interference
7.
on the offense, number 3. 15 yards, still first down.
Got him for 7 penalties for about 60 yards, just off the top of my head.
So where that occurred, they mark off the penalty yardage. It'll be spotted at the 35.
I guess if there's one thing the coach could yell out, that last one on Hanspard, Brian, one thing the coach could yell out maybe is just too many penalties. Otherwise,
it's first and 25, close to 30. First and 30. Ward sheds one, cuts it back, and Ward dives for a couple of yards. We'll give him a 2-yard pickup. Number 15 right there, Noah Gibson, the junior. Clock moving, 2:23, 26-3. DeSoto a perfect 4-0 on the year. The Cards at 1-3.
is Ward tanked, or is he favoring that leg?
It looks a little gimpy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Keep an eye on Arnold, number 82, wide right, joined by Walker, number 6. Second and 28. Ground level view, Ed Ward swings it out, caught in the left flat to the 25. Number 3, Brian Hanspard. Another catch, more yardage for Hanspard. Minute 43, clock moving. Third and about 15.
Now, plenty of time for the Eagles. I mean, you're up 26-3. You got the ball at your opponent's 24.5-yard line. Granted, it is a long down to play, but hey, the clock's on your side, and you don't want to give your opponent much time on the clock if you do turn it over.
Walker. 20, 15, inside the 10. Number 6, Keelan Walker. So Ward to Walker. And number 15 coming out for the Cards, Gibson shaken up.
Man, he's a load to tackle, isn't he?
I don't know where you start. You just hope for some help.
Just trying to lock up and grab.
First and goal from the 10. Noah Gibson helped to the bench for MacArthur. Ward is enough for grabs, picked off. This may be for 90 to midfield. One man to beat. Sherman. And Sherman, 90 yards, it's good. He did cross the double stripe. Number 19, Charles Sherman. A 90-yard interception return and worth another look.
Oh, that's so pretty. He telegraphed the throw. Didn't put a lot on it, put too much air underneath it. Sherman picks it up and is whether or not Ward was going to catch him or not. Grabbed him by the shoulder pads, and hey, he didn't touch the ground.
No, he didn't.
He did not touch the ground. He rolled over the pylon. If we were to look at this in the booth, I would say 6 points. What a nice play.
And a statement for the Cardinal defense. Charles Sherman. Here's an extra point attempt. It is botched. It is up for grabs. It's thrown, trying to get something out of nothing. And they get 6. At least they get 6 out of it with under a half a minute to play. Interception thrown by Shondarian Ward, and it cost the Eagles 6.
Well, I was just bragging on MacArthur special teams. But let's look at it again. Ward, 3-step drop back, And when you throw across like that, you've got to put a lot on it. He didn't. Sherman read it, and it was just a matter of would Ward catch him or not. If we can slow it down right toward the end. Look right, see? He never touched the ground. Rolled over that corner. Right on the pylon. And good call.
Got it in there. Reservations for 6, Mr. Charles Sherman.
Absolutely.
White stripes and green turf ahead, 90 yards.
Ah, that was a pretty play.
It's our play of the night so far.
Absolutely.
26-9 looks a little better than 26-3 heading into the locker room.
Or if they'd have scored 7 points, 33-3.
Yep.
Big swing there. Good job, Charles.
19 seniors. Perfect timing and a sprint to the goal line for both Sherman and the quarterback, Shondarian Ward. And Sherman wins out. So the Cards will kick off. It's a line drive. It's through the legs at the 10-yard line and will come out to the 25.
I like that kick.
Hard, hammer, low kickoff. Nobody touched it and no time off of the clock.
They're going to take a knee.
I think I probably would at this point. I know you're a little shell-shocked on the last interception return, but you know they got things pretty much in hand. And they're risking kind of a turnover deep in your own territory. I would think that's just a short handoff or maybe a quarterback sneak. From the 25, we shall see. Keelan Walker and Ward. On the sweep, it is Walker. Walker close to the 30-yard line, cut down at the 31. Clock continues to roll. Pickup of about 6. And we'll see how quick they want to try to get a play off with 6 seconds. 2nd and about 4. They do get it off. It's a sweep to the other side. Walker, 40, has a first down and tossed out of bounds at the 47 as the first half comes to a close. All DeSoto in the second quarter except for the 90-yard interception return by Charles Sherman. It's halftime, homecoming night here at Irving MacArthur. Our score, DeSoto 26, MacArthur 9 as you're watching the ICTN Game of the Week.
Homecoming 2017 variety with MacArthur down 26-9. We're going to find out who the homecoming queen is in just a few moments. But first, let's go down to the field and your halftime performance by the Irving MacArthur Cardettes.
Juliana Gutierrez, Abril Hortolano, Yoselin Seren, Oriana Gonzalez, and Abigail Martinez. Tonight, the Cardettes are performing their traditional cane routine to There's No Business Like Show Business. This routine was performed by the first Cardette drill team at MacArthur High School in 1965. Unlike other field routines, the Cardettes are placed in formation with the seniors in the front, followed by the juniors and then the sophomores. The Cardettes welcome our alumni and would like to recognize them at this time. Thank you for being a part of Cardette history and for the wonderful gift of this organization and sisterhood. The Cardettes are honored to once again perform the routine that began a legacy. Cardette alumni, as always, this one's for you.
MacArthur Cardinal Cardettes. No business like show business. All right, before we introduce the homecoming queen in her court, let's go ahead and take a look at first half highlights. And MacArthur strikes first. Boy, a 55-yard toss here from Brian Lopez to Tyson Harden. Didn't score on the play. Gets drugged down to about the 10. Led to a field goal here of 27 yards, 29 yards. And it made it 3-0 on top of MacArthur. But back come the Eagles. They tied it at 3 apiece. Then Keelan Walker with a 3-yard touchdown run made it 10-3. And then Vontae Chenault, a 63-yard toss and catch, and he does the rest. Goes the distance. Extra point was good, and that made it 17-3. And then Ward with a keeper from a couple of yards out. Extra point was good, and it was 24-3. And then MacArthur gives up a safety and then gets a big play defensively. Look at there. Charles Sherman reads the play perfectly. Goes 90 yards. Would Ward catch him? He caught him, but just a little too late. And he sneaks inside the pylon. The extra point was not good. And it was 26-9, and that's where we stand here at intermission as we get set up for the homecoming queen in her court. Let's go down to the field for that to see who this year's homecoming queen will be.
Team. She plans to major in nursing. Annette is escorted by Jose and Lupe Gonzalez. Ashley Trejo is in KMAC and National Honor Society. In the past, she was a Cardette Sergeant and in color guard. She is a cum laude scholar. She is involved in her church and loves to volunteer. Ashley would like to attend UNT and be a veterinarian one day. She's escorted by her parents, Gonzalo and Camelia Trejo, and her siblings. Taylor Toentai is fire president and plays volleyball. She's a magna cum laude scholar and was MVP of the volleyball team where she was second team all-district. In her free time, she likes to coach volleyball. She would like to attend UNT and major in kinesiology and education. She would like to be a volleyball coach one day. Taylor is escorted by her parents, Myra Templeton, Ronnie Whitworth, and Casey Toentai. Tiana McAfee is a cheerleader co-captain, senior class treasurer, VP of the Fashion Club, as well as a member of STUCO and NHS. She has won the Irving Chamber of Commerce Design Award, Best High School NFTE Design Finalist, and Best Cheerleader Award 3 years. Tiana has 11 years perfect attendance and over 200 community service hours. She volunteers her time coaching cheerleading. She would like to major in fashion merchandising and business. She is escorted by her parents, Robert and Talara McAfee. Johanna Tesfalassi is STUCO president, on fire truck crew, and a member of Max Steam, NHS, and Thespian Society. She has been awarded Student of the Year and has 12 years perfect attendance. She has been a volunteer at Baylor Scott and White Hospital. She would like to attend UT and major in pre-med. She is escorted by her sisters, Robin and Addie Tesfalassi. Daniel Hernandez plays baseball at MAC, where he was named to second team all-district and is a member of NHS, fire truck crew, theater tech, and student leadership. Daniel has been a class favorite and Student of the Year nominee and on homecoming court all 4 years. He is a member of Calvary Church and has over 100 community service hours. He plans to become a doctor one day. Daniel is escorted by his parents, Susan Motley and Mark Brown. Imran Chowdhury is a senior class officer, VP of Avid Club, and historian of the Fashion Club. He has been awarded MVP class officer and is a magna cum laude scholar. He volunteers at the Irving Library and the Islamic Center of Irving. He plans to major in biomedicine. He is escorted by Miss Ambakshir. Iram Kuros is KMAC and an M5 drummer. He would like to join the Air Force and be an air traffic controller. He is escorted by Ruby Kuros. Ralph Jean-Louis is in fire truck crew and KMAC. He would like to attend Baylor and major in engineering. He is escorted by Mr. Sergio Harris. Tyson Harden is involved in football, MAC and FCA at MAC. He has been awarded class favorite, student of the year, and is a summa cum laude scholar. You'd like to attend TCU and major in business. Tonight, being escorted by Kim Harden and Justin Harden. Please give these MacArthur High School seniors a well-deserved round of applause. They are all honorable representatives of MacArthur High School. The 2017 King will be announced tomorrow night at 9 p.m. at the Homecoming Dance. And now, it is with great pleasure that we present MacArthur's 2017 Homecoming Queen, Annette Gonzalez. The robe tonight is being presented by Sarah Biena, Student Council Vice President. The sash is being presented by Student Council Officer Kaylee Lunsford. The flowers and crown are being presented by MacArthur Principal Deidre Brown. Our 2017 Homecoming Queen, Annette Gonzalez, and the court will now receive the Saber Salute and honors from the JROTC Saber Guard.
And congratulations to Annette Gonzalez, the 2017 Homecoming Queen for the MacArthur Cardinals. All right, well, let's go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we'll have the stats and the kickoff for the third quarter. Stay with us. It's 26-9, DeSoto on top at the break. So MacArthur will kick things off here to start the third quarter. Let's take a look at the halftime stats real quick. And it's pretty indicative of what the score is since DeSoto's up 26-9. You look at the first down differences, the passing yards, and just the overall total yards. The only thing really against the Eagles, they had the one turnover that turned into 6 points, and they've had 8 penalties for 80 yards. Otherwise, it's pretty much what you thought coming into this game when you got a team that's number 2 in the Metroplex and number 4 in the state of Texas against an outman Cardinal team who really just has to just push beyond that and try to keep DeSoto in check here in the second half and try to make a game of it, because it's going to be big plays on their part to make things happen. It led to a field goal. It led to their only score, and they're going to have more of it in the second half. Will it happen? We'll find out with the call, Mr. Nilsson.
All right, Rob, Joel Sanbando, the sophomore, with the second half kickoff. It's fielded by one of the upmen at the 30-yard line to the outside. That's number 3, Brian Hanspard. And Hanspard, as the pursuit catches up to him at the 37. 1st and 10 Eagles. As they take the second half kickoff. Again, ranked number 4 in the state, averaging 36 points a game. And we'll see if most of the first team personnel starts the second half. And
will we see Douglas at quarterback? No.
It's still Shondarian Ward. And to the left, Keelan Walker. The twin W's in the backfield. Ward the junior and Walker the senior. From the 37. In motion is Chenault. Now he comes to a stop. And a full stoppage of play as the play clock was down to 0, or close to it.
Yeah, they called time. What a way to start the third quarter. That's got to drive a coaching staff crazy. Right out of the chutes, you take too long for a play to develop, and the quarterback, I put some of that on Ward's shoulders. He's got to look up there and see that the play clock's about to wind down, and he's got to hustle up and make the call. There's that state ranking we were talking about. Allen, number 1, Converse Judson, Katy, DeSoto. We have a couple of one-loss teams, Lake Travis at 6 and the Woodlands down at 9. But Saxe, boy, there's a team you don't talk about too often in the 6A poll, being in the top 10 in the state of Texas.
And because of Hurricane Harvey, you got Katy and Klein Collins with only 3 games. The Woodlands, they have played just 2. As the hurricane curtailed a lot of events in South Texas. From the 37, 1st and 10 Eagles. Yeah, that's like a timeout. You don't have the right play call. Here's a sweep to Chenault. Chenault trying to get to the edge. He does. 40, 45, and close to a first down as he's escorted out of bounds near the 47-yard line.
Well, that's about a 10-yard pickup on his first carry of the night.
And a player shaken up near the sidelines. It's maybe Brown or one of the receivers. As the Eagles have taken a knee, it is Jamal Brown, number 2, the senior wide receiver. He's down. As a training staff and the assistant coaches try to console Jamal Brown.
As a receiver, when you run a particular play like that where the pursuit comes to your side, oftentimes you'll get rolled up on from behind if you're not paying attention. Watch to the right of your screen, right there. See, he got leg whipped from behind by one of the defenders.
Love, I believe. Colin Love, number 24.
You see offensive lineman happens to them a lot when they're just not expecting it.
Well, the Eagles last week had 24 first downs. And in the first half tonight, they had 12. They had 186 yards of rushing. Walker had over 100 yards and a couple of touchdowns, 1 for 52. But it's been Dylan Lawrence that has had the long runs tonight for the Eagles, still attending Jamal Brown. They've got him up in a sitting position. And hopefully he'll get the feeling back and will be lifted up here. They brought the cart out from the south end zone. Still in a sitting position, very carefully here as not to put any more pressure and stress on the lower legs. And
well, the question is whether they put that leg in like a cast, one of those
inflatable.
Yeah, inflatable cast or not. You know, you think about DeSoto and their most famous alum, Von Miller, in his playing days. And
well, the way they tackled in the first half, I thought he came back and suited up.
I mean, you just think, you know, the last 10 years perhaps, how they just started a tradition at DeSoto, and, you know, you get for players that otherwise might not want to go out for football. Now all of a sudden you have just a bunch of guys and players that want to be a part of it.
Tell you what, they've got TCU has a good one in Sean Robinson. If he stays healthy and is on target the way Gary Patterson would like to use him, he could be the next great quarterback at TCU. Runs and throws, and he scores.
Isn't Patterson a great coach? What he can do with players at other big schools, they don't even look one way at a guy. I mean, he goes to TCU and he turns them into all pro, all everything.
That is enough for a first down, so the new line of scrimmage, the 47-yard line. On the sweep, Walker. And thrown back at the 45. Old jersey, number 15, Noah Gibson.
Well, the coaches usually don't teach you to grab a jersey and toss them down, but it worked pretty well for Gibson.
Loss of a couple of yards.
You know, Walker's a big guy, but he's got to get up ahead of steam. You catch him at the line, you can bring him down pretty good.
From the 45, as Ward has it loaded, he will throw, and a penalty flag dropped as soon as Walker let it loose. Nobody in the area.
Guess who was way downfield that time? Guess. Come on, I'll give you one guess.
It's his first number, beginning with a 7. Is it a 7?
Yes, it is. Mr. Ford.
You've got about a 6
Donovan.
yard, got about a 6-yard area, and he was across midfield.
Oh, and it's a loss of down. And boy, now let's go back and say how well
ineligible man
MacArthur
downfield
defended that.
on the offense, number 72. The penalties decline, third down.
So a loss of down. It is third. Oh, they declined it, waved it off. So it's now second. Is that right? Needing close to 13 yards. Third and 13. Third and 13. They need to get to the 42. Ward, flush from the pocket, throws and overshoots his man at the 43-yard line. A little bit high for a handspot. Double covered at the 45, and it's fourth down.
It's Ward's 15th attempt of the game. He is 8 out of 15. He's had some big plays.
Sherman and Nuwama back deep for the Cards. In punt formation, number 43, Roderick Weaver. It's our first punt.
Yeah.
First punt of the night for Weaver, a sophomore. Not much pressure. Nose up, tail down, hits at the 26, and will be down at the 24 by Walker. Keelan Walker downfield, so the Cards will start at their own 24, their first possession of the second half. They scored early, led early 3-0. DeSoto took command after that. So Harden immediately heads out wide right. They will start Peoples at the running back spot. Directly behind Brian Lopez. Two receivers to the near side. On the 24, in motion is Feliciano, loops behind the running back Peoples, over the middle, and a little bit too tall. Intended at the 40-yard line for Jacob Reyes. Reyes, the junior, able to get in that area.
Still like the call, John. look, it's just like a couple of drop back, and he didn't have a lot of separation there. I mean, he didn't throw it where he could get picked off, but I like the call.
Camarius Walker in the coverage, 2nd and 10. Demetrius Chairs lined up to the near side, kind of an I formation on the near side for the receivers on 2nd down. Lopez play action, looking for Chairs, throws underneath, and unable to hook up with Blake Williams, the junior.
Don't know how that play was designed offensively, but Chairs and Nuama both kind of in the same zone on the near side. They came to this side, but both Chairs and Nuama, they were just in the same area. No one cut the route off. And as far as Lopez is concerned, he couldn't have gone to either player, and he threw to the only guy that really had a chance.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 10 from the 24. Lopez from the gun, handoff straight ahead, and not much at all. Just stoned at the line of scrimmage. And we'll bring up 4th down, nothing at all for Kenneth Peoples. So the Eagles have held, and each team will have punted here on its first possession to begin the 2nd half. Number 1, Monte Chenault. Back deep, awaiting the punt of Tyson Harden. Harden standing near the 10-yard line. On 4th down, Chenault fields it at the 39. Cuts to the outside, now brings it back inside the numbers and is piled up at the 48. So the 2nd possession for the Eagles, they have it at their own 48-yard line, leading 26-9, trying to go to a perfect 5-0 on the year.
So, John, between a possession for each team to start the 2nd half, each team held the ball about 60 seconds.
About a minute, wasn't it?
Yeah, a minute per side.
On 1st down, here's a screen on the other side, caught behind the line of scrimmage and making up for lost ground. Guess who? Lawrence, Dylan Lawrence. And Lawrence to the 5.
Coming back. Coming back, and I saw our favorite player, Donovan Ward, shake his hand, but don't know if it was Ward, don't know if it was his teammate Watts, but it was thrown in their general direction because they were all just beside themselves.
Here's the call.
Holding on the offense, number 66. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat 1st down.
Again, Terry Mayfield, tonight's referee, as they march off the penalty yardage and spotted at the 38.
Look right. Maybe calling that on the receiver. Oh, there. Kind of horse call. Oh, and then almost a clip.
Yeah, Henry wiped him out. And then Henry, number 74, 1st and 20 from the 38. Ward scrambling and will go down at the 29. Number 15, Noah Gibson, the defensive end on the left side, able to catch up with the elusive Shondarian Ward.
Love the defensive play calling here in the 2nd half. Every down, they're just sending people. Sending people from the corner, from the outside. Howell came. Like the aggressiveness.
Loss of 9 at 2nd and 29 from the 29. Ward, the junior, bobbles a snap, hits his left knee. Hit the left knee, and that's a loss of 4 more yards. And a break for the Cards as the Eagles in kind of a retreat mode, a penalty, and then this.
They kind of look how they started the game. In the 1st quarter, they didn't look in sync at all, and they're a little out of sync right now.
3rd and 33 as they look over towards head coach Todd Peterman and the staff. 4 minutes into the third quarter, 3rd and long. For Shondarian Ward rolls out, throws a deep ball left side. This one up for grabs and coming down with it out of bounds. And it'll be 4th down. Chenault had it, but his momentum was headed out of bounds all the way, and he's shaken up.
Or is he grabbing his toe? Does he have a Charlie horse? Good coverage here, though, John. I mean, he does throw it up for grabs here, but the DB was right on it. Yeah. And not even close.
Easy call there, so the Cards have held, and the Eagles will punt it away. Well, the Eagles lost 67 Letterman from last year. Here's a spinner, hits near midfield, scooped up at the 45, and return of about 9 yards, head-butted out of bounds. The return man was Charles Sherman. So pretty decent field position inside the 50, and that's where the Cards start with 7:43 to go in the third quarter. It's nice to start from the opponent's into the field as they start from the 45. So in essence, kind of a short field for Mac. Take whatever they can get, trailing 26-9. Harden, one-on-one near side. Lopez with a high snap, pulls it down running, and is leveled at midfield. Knifing through was Tyler Jackson, number 7. Lost without 6 yards.
Yeah, where do you go here? Look, there's 2 guys after you, one trailing the play as well. Jackson, the first to make contact, and those plays really where they try to string it out, it just doesn't work against a team so fast like DeSoto, man. You need a 2-step, drop back and throw.
Jackson came in as the team's leading tackler with 55. 2nd and 16. Lopez towards the middle and overshoots his man at the 20, intended for Harden. With him stride for stride, Jamon Green, number 9.
But that's about the time you have to take to throw the football. I mean, he didn't hold it any longer than necessary. Just didn't have a very big window of opportunity to land that in Harden's lap. But still, I think that type of play is better suited for the Redbirds than trying to go wide.
Yeah, you take your chances with that any time. Chairs to one side, Harden to the other side. On 3rd and 16. Lopez sprints towards the near side, has it loaded, throws into double coverage, tipped away at the 29. Intended for Reyes, number 12. And the Cards, for the 2nd consecutive series, will have to punt it away. Bryson Harden stays in there. The deep man for the Eagles, the Hanspard, number 3. Wow, what coach was that? That just bottomed out the floor. End over end, hits at the 22, takes a favorable bounce of about 4 more yards, and will go, it's a signal out of bounds at the 13. A little more than that, so they pinned him back to the 13. A little extra roll.
Got a doubleheader this week. Homecoming tonight for the MacArthur Cardinals, and then we have the Tigers and the Vikings. Always a fun game.
Oh, was it ever last year? As they immediately headed to the locker room. Some ill feelings.
Oh, between those two teams, man.
From the 13, Ward scrambles, turns it upfield. Yardage 20, 25, 30, and Ward with a first down. Close to the 40-yard line, and a run of about 26 yards.
Yeah, that's the biggest run of the night for Ward. Puts him up around 47 overall.
Able to make the most of it at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10. Again, 45. Lunges to the 49. That would be enough for another first down. That little extra lunge at the end, and it is enough for another first down.
You notice, John, they go to this quick huddle, no huddle, quick snap, just like they did in the first half, and things started rolling for them.
Got that rhythm, got that motion. A little bit too tall intended for Z Fields. His first action. Fields is a junior. A little bit too high, and
yeah, that could have been a little dangerous.
Josh Howell going to come out along with Adrian Steptoe. A couple of new players on 2nd and 10 for the Cards defensively. Fields stays in, heads wide right. All kinds of room on the left side for Ward. It's a running play up the middle and sandwiched down at the 48-yard line. Not much at all for Walker.
Walker had one run of 15 yards. Otherwise, they've held him in check pretty good.
Last week had 13 carries for 121 yards. 3rd and 7 from the MAC 48. All kinds of time. It's a skip ball, a little low, intended for Chenault. And the Eagles now for the 3rd consecutive possession will have to punt.
Ward only 8 out of 18. He really didn't plant his foot very well on that last pass.
Almost as if he slipped when he threw it. Sherman and Nawama back deep for the Cards. High snap, rush up the middle. Nawama up with a hand over the shoulder, and they'll mark it near the 12-yard line. Nice job of holding on to it. That ball may have carried a little bit further than Nawama would have thought, but able to secure it at the 12.
Yeah, got a little dicey there for a second. Then he does his best over the shoulder grab.
Playing center field. 3rd possession for the Cards. They begin at the 12, trailing 26-9. There you see the insert time remaining, 5:28. So you gave them, get some breathing room here, deep in their own territory. On the sweep, and a couple of yards. Not much, just 2 yards on the pickup.
Tyler Jackson again. Had his name called out a couple of times tonight.
Corinne Lynch, the running back. 2nd down and 8 from the 14. And Lopez going to send Harden wide right on 2nd down. And they may have jumped the gun. Movement on the Cards.
False start on the offense, number 72. 5 yards, still 2nd down.
That'll cost them 5. It'll be 2nd and 13. That's a popular number tonight.
Oliver, the senior, 305 pounds.
Donovan Ford wears number 72 for DeSoto. So 2nd and 13. They're going to deploy 2 receivers on either side. They're going to squeeze out a couple of yards over the left side. That's Lynch. On comes Reyes and Feliciano here on 3rd and long.
Well, that's just part of the challenge tonight for MacArthur, John, is 3rd and 11, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8. Just difficult to pick up a first down against a team like the Eagles when you're facing 3rd and long like that. They've only got 2 first downs all night.
I know it's about matchups, but, well, they've got about everything covered, and the Cards will take a timeout here. Following a pick of a couple of yards, it's still 3rd and 11, but Mac utilizing its first of 3 timeouts. These two teams first met each other in the late 80s, 1986. Mac shut out the Eagles, and following year won another contest by a final score of 20-9. All DeSoto last year to the tune of 48-7.
Yeah, then they go about, what, 29 years before they play each other between those first 2.
What a district. Cedar Hill, Duncanville, South Grand, Berry, and, oh yes, the defending state champions in one classification, 6A.
Boy, compared to what these Irving schools had a couple of years ago in a district, from one way to the other.
Mac did make the playoffs 2 years ago. They went 6-5. You know, Lopez threw over 1,000 yards last year. We saw some pretty nice games last year from Lopez. Here's a middle screen, caught in traffic and not much at all to the 12-yard line. On the takedown, number 53, Brian Robinson.
They read that well, didn't they?
Perfectly on that right side.
Just a little cut across, and boy, he was bearing down on that from the get-go. Carl Davis III.
Shaw standing near midfield, and
somebody came up a little woozy. Might have been Davis.
Couldn't tell. They let the play clock run down all the way to 0 until Davis came out or not.
I think that's him on the far sideline over talking to the coach.
Yeah, it is Carl Davis.
And so they'll allow DeSoto to make a substitution because of that and reset the play clock.
So Tyson Harden at the goal line, or close to it on 4th down. No rush. Nice punt. Very nice. Chenault fields the end-over-end kick at the 48, picks it up, lost it, now in trouble, and is snowed under at the 40. Got 6 Cardinals downfield, among them Burris, the sophomore, number 32.
Hey, again, I can't say enough about MacArthur special teams. I mean, they have contained the speedy Eagles on the punts and the punt returns, not allowing a lot of running room. Bobbles a little bit, but they don't slow down. Good wrap up, good tackle. Well done by Burris.
Got him pinned back at the 41. It is still the combo of Ward and Lawrence.
They get it to Lawrence yet.
Dylan Lawrence, there he is, nothing at all. No gain, over the top. Elijah Figueroa, number 27.
Hey, he's human after all.
And quickly up to the line on 2nd and 10. Under 2 minutes to go here in the third. 26-9. No scoring yet in the quarter. Pump fake. Ward, another pump fake. Holds it up high, throws, and was it a catch at the 44-yard line? It was.
Wow.
Climbing the stairs was Chenault. And enough for a first down.
But what about a 15-yarder? And let's watch the sideline. I mean, this is a tightrope. He does a great job of keeping. All you need is one. Got the left leg down, left heel. Ref's right on top of it.
From the 44, first down run and more. 30, 25, 20, This is Ward, and Ward gonna take it all the way. 44 yards on the touchdown run, Shondarian Ward.
Well, Ward has done that tonight in the red zone quite effectively. First time we've seen him go more than a couple of yards to score, and he just found the edge on the read option and took off. I mean, he's still hobbling. Look at him. He's hobbling back now, but you couldn't tell it when he was running.
And he will hold for Jared Blodgett. Tee down, ball down, and through. 125 left here in the third. It is now a 33-9 score
For Ward, that puts him almost at 100 yards for the night. Of course, his longest run of the evening at 44. And you know, you're MacArthur, and you're playing soft in the secondary. You're trying to keep the receivers in front of you. And then Ward kind of turns the tables on you a little bit and keeps it. I mean, I don't think Ward has had a very spectacular throwing night.
It's been adequate. I mean,
yeah, he's not out of 19, sure.
Yeah.
He's missed some players, but he's had some guys that have made some nice catches for him as well. But I think where he can really hurt you is with the legs, and did it right there on the long run.
So Jared Blodgett will kick off for the Eagles. We do have a score here in the third quarter.
Took them until their fourth possession to do it.
Headed towards Sherman. Sherman trying to dance to the outside, crosses the 20, and is tackled at the 21.
Now see, John, they can kick it straight out.
Straight and deep.
And look, MacArthur, they're like 20 yards back further than normal because of it.
So Lynch, Lopez in the backfield. Offensive line there for DeSoto. Over the right side, stacked up, virtually no gain at all. Just pick a number as we have the combination of DeSoto and MacArthur cheerleading squads on the west side. No gain, second and a dime on the 22. Looking right, and too tall, intended at the 30-yard line for Demetrius Chairs.
John, I got a question for you.
Okay.
How many times in the last 5 years do you think DeSoto has been the guest team at a homecoming game?
I'll say twice.
Think so, huh?
Over the last 5?
Yeah, I think they've been at least
For any school that
yeah, you think they've been a homecoming foe for somebody at least one other time?
twice.
Not very often, in other words. Usually you wouldn't pick DeSoto as the team you're going to play on your homecoming. But hey, the schedule gods just didn't make it easy for MacArthur. They opened the district season at South, and then after this home game here, they got 2 on the road at Cedar Hill and Grand Prairie, and then it's the end of October before you have Irving, and they may be the visitor at that one. So their hands were tied.
What you're saying is all at the mercy of the schedule. Here's a quick out, caught, and a first down. Nice first down catch by Milama. There's that Hart. Beg your pardon, that's Tyson Hart.
Yep. Watch how he gets it out again, John. Can't reiterate the fact. 2 steps, boom, throw it. Don't give DeSoto much time to react.
11 yards.
John, their first down of the second half.
That is the first one, isn't it?
It comes at 30 seconds in the third quarter.
From the 33-yard line with a half a minute to go. Bunched up tight on the offensive line. You would think a running play, and it is. And the Eagles snuff it out. Pair of fives underneath Pippins.
He's had a good game.
And he really has. Up, down. It's hard to run around. Look at that frame. I mean, try to get that first step and run away from it. And that'll be the final play of the third. 3 down, 1 to go here on homecoming night from MacArthur. As we head to the fourth, it's DeSoto 33 and the Cardinals 9. With Rob Willman, John Nelson back at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium as we head to the fourth quarter. 33-9 in favor of DeSoto. The Cardinals facing a 2nd and 10 from their own 32. Showing blitz, and here they come, and they ride it out over the right side, and not much at all. Lopez surrounded by white jerseys on 3rd and long. 3rd down and needing 9. Jalen Hall in as the setback, number 23. Hall, the junior, trips to the right side. You would think something may develop here on the right side. 3rd and 9. Lopez looking right now. In danger, cuts it back, and is flattened at the 38. 4 yards shy of the first down, and for the 4th consecutive possession, the Cardinals will have to punt it away.
Man, I would not want to be the umpire. Man, look at this. He almost gets flattened right about there, like a pinball.
Harden in punt formation. Brian Hanspard running and makes the low catch at the 33, able to cross the 35 and is stacked up at the 41-yard line. 8 yards on the return. 5th possession for the Eagles, leading 33-9. DeSoto, next play, a home game with the Gophers of Grand Prairie. And back here on the 19th, begin the regular season against South Grand Prairie on the 9th of November. From the 41-yard line. Darian Trekkie, new running back, is Ward, and the blitz, and Ward is sacked all the way back near the 30-yard line.
10-yard loss. That'll go against the quarterback. And again, you know, they've done this in the second half, man. They just come all out. They're just saying, look, we're going to blitz, we're going to pressure, and take our chances with limited one-on-one, not a lot of help out over top secondary. And, man, it's working.
A loss of 9, 2nd and 19. Darian Tricey, number 28, the new running back, as Ward with a deep ball across the middle. It is broken up at the 28-yard line. Number 19 there to bat it away, Charles Sherman. So they go deep on 2nd and long. Hangs up forever. Got the inside position. And
hey, they both kind of got some air.
Paul Pickens, the intended receiver, number 89, the sophomore. 3rd and 19 from the 32. Ward, and motioning his man to go a little bit deeper, and flings it deep, and just out of the outstretched hands at the 20-yard line, again intended for Paul Pickens. And we'll bring up 4th down. Deep post pattern on a couple occasions, intended for Pickens. Well, if he'd have turned around, well, he did, but just didn't run to the ball.
No. Kept running toward the goal line instead of more toward the sideline.
So another rare punt for DeSoto. A chance for a return here. Ronald Weaver. A mile high, no chance of a return, and fielded at the 33. Fair to catch call for, and that's where the Cardinals will operate with 9:42 left in the game.
You know, with that name, Byron Hanspard is familiar. His dad is senior, played for Texas Tech. He's an All-American. Won the Doak Walker Award as the nation's top college running back and played a couple of years in the NFL. Second-round pick way back in '97. Just 20 years ago.
Now, 20 years, and now you have 2 of them starting their career at DeSoto. This is behind the receiver on 1st and 10. And intended for Harden, but behind him all the way. Yeah, Hanspard, the old man, covered a lot of ground. Brought a lot of excitement at Texas Tech and DeSoto. Second and 10. Oh, look at that door close and jammed up at the line of scrimmage, and a loss of yardage. Number 26, Corinne Lynch, was surrounded. And big number 92 in there for the Eagles, and it'll be 3rd and a little bit more than 12.
You know, in this day and age, people just don't stay where they went to high school. So it's not, you know, it's rare to see someone like the son go right back and play high school ball where his dad was at.
Lopez spun down at the 27. Continue to move backwards. Faramontes Peoples, the junior, with another takedown tonight. And it's become a punting contest for these two teams here in the 4th quarter.
Let's see, 1,001, 1,002, and he has to step up, and that's the name of that tune.
Brian Hanspard fields it at the 45, loses the football, and the Cardinals have it. Number 34, last man up, Manny Lezo Reyes, sophomore, on the recovery at the DeSoto 45.
He look up a little bit. Nope, he just didn't put it away soon enough. Again, we can't say enough about the special teams and how well that they've done for MacArthur.
8:20 to play. They've started from the 45 now 2 times in the second half. Rush from the outside. Lopez scrambling and loses the football in midfield, and who has it? It's still loose. Loss of about 8 yards if the Cardinals retain possession, and they do. Number 26, last man up, Corinne Lynch. Man, both sides.
Yep, pressure from the front. Helmet gets the elbow a little bit. Bodies collide here, and picked up by Lynch.
It is a loss of 8, 2nd and 18. It's almost as if they just lifted up Lopez and couldn't hold on to it. 2nd and 18 for the Cards. Lopez, right side, intended for Harden. And covered nicely by the two cornerbacks for the Eagles.
For DeSoto, that was a perfect defensive call before the snap. Usually they hedge their bets on one of their safeties. This time both safeties played deep. They sent a linebacker in off the weak side, the blind side of Lopez, and it's just too much ground for Harden to try to gain, especially with the safeties playing so deep.
Never could develop. 3rd and 18. Lopez going to try it again. Harden across the middle and intercepted at the 15-yard line. Coming out to the 25. That's Green. Green crosses midfield to the 35-30. Green still in bounds inside the 15 and is tackled out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. Jamon Green with a huge return.
Man, he covered a lot of ground. Well, Lopez just overthrew Harden. And Green fielded it well, and right about here he decides to come over to the near sideline. He had a lot of room. He only had one blocker and about 3 players to beat, and the blocker just kind of peeled off and picked up one of the Cardinals, but that's about all he could do.
I got it close to 80 yards on the return. 1st and goal from the 5.
Lawrence Award.
Well, it's going to be Tracy, number 28, finding for the end zone, and he's got it from 5 yards out. Number 28, Nayron Trekkie. And yet another different DeSoto player to score. Set up by the interception return of Jamon Green. Following the touchdown run of Ward, a short run by Tracy. And it is now 39-9. The extra point, as you can see, is perfect. And another look at it. Nothing fancy, Rob, just running to daylight.
And he has fresh legs.
Yeah, he does.
He wants to score. He gets his limited time out there. That is the 2nd touchdown of the season. Only his 12th carry of the season. But the junior makes the most of it. But you see a lot of more substitutions for DeSoto here with less than 7 to go in the ball game.
I'm wondering if most of those will be on the return team, running backs and receivers, or maybe the offensive line. No, we will see new numbers.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see a whole host of them here in the final 6 minutes and 51 seconds. 40-9. Eagles came in averaging 36. David flips that. Coming off a 21-7 win over Cedar Hill last week.
Well, they had 13 different players touch the football in the first 4 games. So
kickoff fielded at the 16-yard line, looking for a crease 25. Out to the 27-yard line, Josh Howell. Right in the middle, number 4, Josh Howell. 4th time this year that the Eagles have scored 40 or more points. Cards gave up 33 last week in the loss to South. And 6:44 left in this one.
hard to believe it was the first state championship ever for DeSoto in football. They've come awfully close there.
Ibrahim Hassan is the new quarterback for the Cards, number 14.
They gonna call time? Yes.
Well, you are correct. You're right about the Eagles. Claude Mathis had a couple of chances back-to-back, and they had some
controversial games.
Yeah, you know, his personal fouls on the sidelines cost him. I'm pretty sure it cost him a state champion or a run towards a state championship. He got a little hot-headed, and some of those penalties late in the game at AT&T Stadium kind of hurt that team.
There was one game, might have been against South Lake Carroll, when the call went against their way late in the game.
Did he go nuts?
You could say that.
So the new quarterback is Hassan in relief of Brian Lopez.
But you know, Chad Morris has got things going a little bit there at SMU.
Good recruiting years here.
Yeah.
Hassan on the keeper. 30, 35, crosses a 40 and thrown out of bounds hard near midfield. Nice first down run. Hassan.
Talk about some fresh legs, right?
That certainly helps in a game like this. Get some guys in there and make something happen.
Get about 24 on the carry.
25, Kenneth Peoples. In the backfield, Chairs. Can they get this off? Sideline warning. 8 seconds left on the play clock. Trying to back them off near the sidelines. With 3. With 1. And they do get it off. Handoff straight ahead. And plowing across the 45, across the 45, inside that to the 42-yard line.
Well, they had some fresh faces on the D-line, and that lasted all of about 2 running plays. And now the big uns, Pippins and company, are back out there, John, defensively. Yeah.
People straight ahead and a nice run of 9 yards. Yeah, 55 is back in there, Hawker down, second. And a yard, a quick out, caught by Feliciano. First down inside the 35, carries it all the way to the 33-yard line. So the sophomore with a nice catch and run.
Feliciano reminds me of those, we call them little flankers, scat backs, that jitterbugs.
Little Wes Welker.
Yeah, little Wes Welker.
From the 33 with 5:33 to go. Cards on the march. Hassan, right side, and some grabbing and holding and defensive pass interference. Chairs was mugged at about the 12, had no chance.
Chairs was cut off at the leg.
Couldn't lean back at all and make an attempt for it. So the penalty flag, and they'll go back to the line of scrimmage and march off the 15
Pass interference,
yards.
number 23 on the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot.
That'll place it at the 18-yard line.
Watch again, John.
Boy, Chairs hoping to get open and make a break and had no chance. It's waylaid at the 12. 40-9, the Cards trying to find the end zone for the second time tonight. From the 18. Hassan, fade pattern, he's got a man open, trying to turn around and make the adjustment. Was Harden, but running out of room, the angle getting a little smaller near the sidelines.
You know, Harden did have some space there. He just got turned around. Watch, he's going to the left. He has to do a 180, and by then it's out of bounds.
Tough catch.
Yes.
Kenneth Peoples stays in there on 2nd and 10. Hassan will keep it to the 15 and takes it down to the 14-yard line. Gain of close to 5. We'll set up 3rd down with 5:03 to play. Ball on the 14-yard line. 3rd down and close to 6 yards needed. They've got the play, so Peoples indicates. On 3rd down, play clock down to 3. Hassan going deep, intended for Harden, broken up at the goal line. Feathers bound and determined, Rob, to try to get it into the hands of Martin. Well covered by
They're not
DB.
shy. They're not shy about it. Two-step drop, toss it up. Close.
Oh, I see Sanbando.
You do?
Yep, I do. This would be a 31-yard field goal attempt, angled to the left, out of the hold of Feliciano. Trying to get on the board here on this drive from 31 yards out. It is up. It has the distance, and it has the accuracy. From 31 yards out, the Cards connect. And our new score with 4:26 to play, DeSoto 40, and the Cards 12.
Had a distance. Boy, back in our day, John, we'd be lucky to find a field goal kicker that could make anything past 20 yards.
Isn't that the truth?
And now these guys can kick 40, 45 yarders consistently.
And I'll bet from 20, everybody was a little hesitant to try that.
Yeah.
So a field goal tonight in the fourth quarter for the Cards. They took the lead on a 29-yard effort. 3-0 lead early. Their second field goal, and 26 to play with for the Eagles. They'll remain perfect. They'll go to 5-0, 2-0 in the district.
That'll be a fun game to watch when DeSoto plays Duncanville this year.
And where is that game? That is home. Eagle Stadium on the 27th of October. Reggie Samples has it going once again at Duncanville.
Saw where he became the most winningest black coach, high school football coach in the state of Texas with his win a couple of weeks ago.
Piled up a lot of wins at Skyline.
Took him maybe 1 year to get traction at Duncanville, but now those guys playing really well in that program.
Sanbando will kick off for the Cards. Going to take the deep approach, or is it?
DeSoto's going to call time. DeSoto's going to go, wait a minute. They're going to try the onside kick on us.
Well, they were looking towards this side. That is the second timeout taken by the Eagles, so both teams will huddle up with 4:26 left. After tonight, the Cardinals will take on Cedar Hill and Grand Prairie, Irving, Duncanville, and they'll end the regular season against Hill.
Hey, there's that Cardinal you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, you can make out the outline of the head, the feathers on top of the eye.
You know, the black mat is in. The mat colors are in, John. Didn't know if you knew that or not.
Well, let's see. Army, Texas Tech.
A&M has the maroon type, mat helmets.
Who else does? Did Baylor have one? I think
Baylor's like Oregon. Every week's a different color.
Sanbando. Maybe a deeper approach. Yeah, it's a squib kick. Fielded, and it's loose at midfield. It did go 11 yards. It went the distance, and the Cards have come up with it.
Looks like Josh Howell, number 4.
The onside kick. It was a hard ball to field, and
John,
Eagles couldn't hold on to it.
Here's a coaching moment, okay? Coaching moment.
Okay.
If the ball comes your way, fall on it. Just fall on it. Don't try to run with it. I knew what he was going to do. He saw the gap. He saw the opening. He wanted to take it to the distance, a la Baylor against Penn State way back when we were like 10 years old at the Cotton Bowl. But no.
Dylan Lawrence had visions of maybe a long return. He gives it up from the 49-yard line. Swing pass out to the far side, and not much at all. The penalty marker dropped. It's a loss of yardage.
I think a hold against MacArthur. Again, out there trying to block the split screen.
Man, you throw a ball that far out and you better hope you have some blocking. It is a hold. But what it does, Rob, it gives time for the defense to recover and read that play when it's out there so far.
Holding on the offense, number 17. 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
I think
Still
unless
first
you
down.
have a cannon for an arm, just reserve those for the short field. Look to your far right there. See the receiver? He's got him all
Already there.
grabbed by the shoulder pads. Pretty easy one to call. Feliciano gets just tossed around.
It'll cost the Cards 10 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 41. Motion in the line, no flags. And here come the Eagles as they surround the running back. And more loss of yardage for the Cards. Number 23, Jalen Hall on the handoff. They had, how many yards did they have at half? They had like 3 yards of rushing in the first half.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd be that successful against DeSoto running the football, but I thought maybe they could open things up a little bit. Didn't have to go too far downfield, but
Loss of 4. Pump fake and Hassan going deep right side. This was near the sidelines. Had the catch been made, it may have been made out of bounds by chairs. Right near that sideline at the 25.
DeSoto with a lot of fresh faces there defensively.
Yeah, I was going to try to indicate.
Everyone.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. 1-13. McGee's in. Ricky Matheson, senior. 3rd and 23 with 3:19 to play. The onside kick successfully pulled off at the 49, but they've lost about 14 yards since then. A quick out. And struggling to get to the 40-yard line is Nuama.
Hunter in on the tackle for DeSoto. They close very quickly.
Won't provide much of an opening at all. It is 4th and long. It's only a couple of yards picked up. Jalen Hunter, linebacker number 14. 4th and 21 from the Cardinal 40. Timeout taken, and DeSoto going to call its last timeout.
Again, don't forget, we're going to have the Tigers and the Vikings also on ICTN. Replay starting Sunday, October 8th at 8 p.m. First time we'll see the Tigers this year. Coach Delatorre.
Oh, it's a pretty competitive contest this year. 3rd week of district for both teams.
47th year they faced each other.
The Irving schools at this point last year, whether 3-9 against competition this year.
You know, Nimitz has a 1-game advantage over all those years. You know, Coach Rogers and his group not quite as big as they've been in the past, and never know, this might be the year that Aaron Delatorre and company even things up.
They would be due.
Yeah.
But the
Vikings have won 3 in a row, so, you know.
law of averages kind of balance out sometime. Yeah, let's see. Got another quarterback, Zion Walton. Walton, the new quarterback, senior, number 26. And they'll keep it on the ground. Outside 5, mark it off at 7, blasted out of bounds. A couple of Cardinals with 2:22 to play. Pick up of 7 yards at the 37-yard line.
Gain 7 to the 37, 2nd down 3.
And as we double check, and a handoff over the left side, and it continues to move forward another 5 yards. And a first down, Roston White.
Number 38, Austin White on the carry.
With a minute 44 to play. On the first down, and DeSoto will now have won 21 games in a row and 18 regular season games.
A lot of fresh faces out there.
Flag down.
Flag on the play.
The Cards just wanting this to end.
On the offense.
Set
5
their
yards,
sights
still first down.
on next week. It cost the Eagles 5, but not much at all at this junction.
5-yard penalty makes the ball out to the 30. First down 15.
MacArthur has only managed 26 yards rushing tonight.
Is that all? 26?
26.
In the minus column last week. Crossing the close to the 45 with a minute 7 to go. Latrell Johnson on carry. He comes out.
You know, all those guys that go to practice every day put in all the effort. This is their chance to get out there and get a little game action.
I believe that's a 5th different running back to carry the ball. Well, here's another one. That's Montrell Lively. Lively, senior. He comes in and will come out. And that could be the last play of the game. Is there an overlap? Well, play clock and game clock about even. Coyote and Dabo. Over the left side, breaks into the secondary. Crosses a 45, takes it down to the 43, and that should be the last play of the game. He comes in and out.
Remember, they have like 97 guys on the roster.
Well, let's see if Kevantre Williams has enough time to get a handoff. And he does. Headed to the right. He'll stay in bounds, and that'll be the game. 1 second, and that will do it as the DeSoto Eagles use a bevy of running backs in the final 2 minutes and win this contest by a final score of 40-12 on homecoming night for the Cardinals. We'll take a quick break. We'll step aside, give you some final numbers, and wrap it all up right after this on the ICTN Game of the Week. The number 4 ranked team in the state prevails, or a perfect 5-0 as they polish off the Cardinals tonight. The final score of 40-12. Take a look at the final numbers, Rob, and kind of one-sided here as you would expect.
Yeah, pretty much indicative of our final score. And rushing really, lashes out at me. Only 26 yards from MacArthur. It makes the passing so much more difficult. For DeSoto, they'll probably look at the penalties and want to clean that up if they want to go far into postseason. But by and large, the Eagles are just bigger, faster, had more players to throw out there, and the depth and the athleticism showed. But MacArthur was scrappy, hung in there for a while, and just outmanned basically.
Well, you brought up some of the special teams play, and a couple of players really stood out tonight on the special teams.
They covered the punt really well. I was really impressed with the fact how they kept DeSoto in check, and they really kept the return numbers down to a minimum. And they didn't let DeSoto beat them on kickoffs or punts, but DeSoto just had too many other weapons.
More District 7 6A football later in the week on ICTN. The Irving Tigers and the Vikings of Nimitz will do battle right here, and we'll have it for you the 3rd week of district play. The Tigers and the Vikings, as you see the times here, in which that'll be shown. But DeSoto flexes our muscles tonight as they come away a 40-12 win. For our ICTN production crew, everyone here at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium, for Rob Woolman, until next time, this is John Nelson saying good night on the ICTN Game of the Week.